What is going on, everybody? Brent Abel here, goldballhunting.com. The surprise look over there, yes, the great Jeff Jacklich, and another episode of the Gold Ball Hunting podcast. And so, guys, listen, we got a really kind of a touchy topic today that we all deal with. Assuming that you're a good human being, you have to deal with this. If you're on the other side of the fence, hey, man, we got to get you straightened out right now.
Yeah.
So, guys, hang in there with us. Another episode of the Gold Ball Hunting Podcast that you need to stay to the very end. So the big question is this: how are tennis players like us who never played in the tour, weren't incredible juniors, or maybe got a late start to the game, how do we consistently compete at our highest skill level without having to grind through endless hours of on-court practice time and still be in the hunt for victory match after match? That is the question, and Gold Ball Hunting gives you the answers by helping you eliminate your skill level range so that you build a strong foundation of confidence. My name is Brent Abel, and along with my biz partner Jeff Jacklich, welcome to Gold Ball Hunting. Jeffrey, my man, what is going on there, son? It looks like another background that I don't recognize.
I just bopping around here,
you must be the ultimate guest where people just go, man, just stay with me. Come on over here. Stay with our family. We need to hear some good stories. We need good stories. We need, you just look like that kind of a smart guy, athletic guy. You looks like you've done a lot of stuff in your life. Come on in. We'll have a little dinner.
Keep going. Keep going. I'm good. Actually, down here in the desert, it's beautiful, as you know. Had great, weather yesterday on the court. Was fabulous. It was perfect tennis weather.
Well, look, I saw your first. I saw the end of the first match, that mixed doubles match, and they put you on that second court. Mine, I ironically played the same couple on that court. I don't know, a couple of years ago. Curtis and Maria, I think, just fantastic,
beautiful couple.
People. Oh man,
beautiful people
and
great people.
He's a heck of a tennis player. He's got a great story about his tennis, and she's just having a ball out there because he is making it fun. He's putting no pressure on her. Hey, so but the point I want to make is that court at that time in the morning.
Rough.
The shadows are like it's the Matrix. Balls are coming through it, and you're not sure when it's going to arrive. So stroke technique is like so minimal because you're going, I think the ball's on my right. Oh, there it is. Right. It's over here. Okay.
It's like a strobe light. The ball is like ding, 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 coming through the.
It's kind of lurching through. Anyway? But you guys played well, and that was good. And then you guys had a men's doubles match. That was kind of interesting. Your scheduled opponents defaulted a couple hours, and I thought it was spectacular the way that Kurt, the tournament director, made a phone call and got you guys a good match. Yeah. Where these guys I guess are somewhat local and hadn't entered the tournament, but Kurt knew, hey, if I need a backup team, would you guys be available? So that was cool. So look, I want to talk about a situation that I think we all get into from time to time where we have an opponent, or maybe we have two opponents in doubles, right? Where the attitude over there is like just mean and nasty and just kind of like, look, I'm not out here to really play tennis.
Right.
I'm out here to be a jerk, and I'm out here to piss somebody off, and I'm out here to just make life miserable. And I'm out here to waste your time and your money for that entry fee. I don't care if you get an umpire out here.
Right.
I don't care. I don't care if I foot fault like 3 feet inside the court. I don't care. I don't care if I call balls out that are so far in that my partner's going, no, those were good. Those were good. And I don't care if I get overruled. And I don't care if you like me, man. I don't care if those. And by the way, I do care that you've got friends and family up there that are cheering for you guys respectfully when you hit a nice shot.
Right.
And I it kind of bothers me they're not cheering for me when I hit a good shot. Anyway, where am I trying to go, Jeff?
Nice,
I
nice
mean,
rant.
there,
Nice rant.
there are from once in a great while we have to deal
Yeah.
with someone who's like that, and how do you deal with that? I mean, look, we've talked lots of times over. And what's today? Episode number 363. Wow, we're 2 days away from 1 year. That in itself is insanity, if you ask me.
Unbelievable.
But we've talked a lot about, how do you handle that guy over there or gal who maybe makes a shaky call or is doing something? How do you handle it? It becomes too often an excuse to kind of go, because especially if it's a close match.
Right.
I mean, look, if you're in total control of the match, look, if you're going to use that as an excuse, then,
Right.
I think we need to go see a professional on that one.
A couch. We
A
need to see
big
a
time
couch.
couch, right? But in the close match, it's easy to kind of, just get upset and kind of lose it and start building the story that if you do lose,
Yeah.
God, that opponent over there was such a jerk today. So what do you do? I mean, when that happens, okay, I'm assuming this has happened to you. It's happened to me. And
More
I know
times
you're a
I'd
nice
like to.
guy. I know you're a nice guy. And I mean, you exude niceness and fairness out in the court, and people watching go, oh my God, that Jeff Jacklich, what a solid citizen. But sometimes that exuding is not enough to overcome the
Yeah.
jerk over there. So what do you do?
And it's an interesting, I find it even in the experience, I find it an interesting phenomenon because I'm wondering where's it coming from?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we all voluntarily got on the computer and signed up, spent our own money, traveled to go play a game that I'm kind of assuming we all enjoy, we've all invested time and money into, and we want to have kind of the heightened tennis experience. We want to have that sense of tennis community, but that extra level of community for people that actually, like I said, invest time and money, respect the game, respect the traditions of the game, and really have a heightened, let's say, sense of sportsmanship as well on the court. And so, occasionally you run across some characters that just don't quite have that sensibility. That they're the best word I can come up with is that from the get-go, there's an air, kind of an energy. It's like adversarial. And now, yes, it's competition, and yes, we are adversaries in this endeavor together. Yes, he's across the net. She's across the net. They're across the net. But sometimes you just have this, and for me, I kind of like, God, did I do something here to like create this thing? Because I came out, I come out and I introduce myself. What's your name? Oh, gosh, I'm sorry. Tell me your name again. I feel bad whenever the guy just told me his name, and 2 seconds later, it's out of my head. And tell me again, Bob. Okay, Bob. Okay, got it. Okay, one more time, Bob. I mean, because I want to know. I want to say, nice shot, Bob. I like to, take it to that next level of sportsmanship and be able to compliment or ask a question and have that. But sometimes it's a really interesting, and you can feel it right at the get-go, and sometimes it'll dissipate once the match starts, and maybe the opponents see that you're conducting yourself in a manner. Maybe they've heard something about you that may or may not be true, or about a match you had, but they don't have all the details. So in your mind, like, you're still a nice guy, and they're coming in thinking that they're going to have to, like, oh, you guys are seated, so they're going to come in and act a certain way. And then once the match gets rolling, it's like, listen, I just came here to play tennis, and I came here to beat you as fast as I can, and then hey, you want to go get a beer? I mean,
Right.
I'm good with it, but sometimes it gets where it becomes just, it's no longer in your hands. It's there's controllables and uncontrollables, and so when it hits that, like the things that you just described, when it hits those moments, you have to, if you're playing singles, you have to individually decide at what point do I want to engage in the confrontation? How deep do I want to go? And you have to be aware of how you're doing it, so that you treat it, you're in control of how you're responding, so you don't emotionally get over involved in it. And if you're playing doubles, you got to measure your partner and that, and like, where are we going to go with this? And are we in control of the match? Most of the time, if I feel like it's going to send the match down a road that I really don't want to go, i.e., the ultimate getting an umpire, if I feel like I'm still in control of the match, let's just ride this for another few more games and see where we end up here. I would rather do that than get an umpire on the court. And that's just me personally, but I've gone there. I've gone to the umpire where it's just gotten so to the point of like, listen, you got nothing to say to me the rest of the match, nothing. You have a question, talk to that guy. And I've even said that in matches where after we got the umpire, the guy was trying to, go to me. And I just look at him and go, I don't know why you're talking to me. And
well,
so for me, it helps me make the break then, that I don't have to engage with this guy ever again in the match.
Well, that's the beauty of tournaments is that you've got a tournament director and they're supposed to have a referee,
right?
An umpire. So worst case, you can do that. You get down to league stuff, Jeff, and now it becomes really dicey, because typically in a league match, if you've got that kind of opponent that we're describing, or those kinds of opponents that we're describing in a league match, it's a totally different ball game.
Right.
And I think one of the things that you and I lament so often about is that the whole mindset of league, unfortunately, breeds more of that kind of a situation than tournaments do. Right. Because tournaments, you have an opportunity to just nip it in the bud with, you know what, let's just get some help. And you stop the match, you go get the guy, and if you have to wait 5 minutes further, then fine, you just wait.
Right.
The league thing becomes kind of a street fight.
Yeah.
And it can get brutal. So what's your advice in that situation where you got that kind of opponent over there who's just adversarial, questioning all your calls every time you make a close call that's correct, and he or she says, oh, so that's how it's going to be today, huh? I've had that.
Yeah.
I've had that. And I just said, what?
Right.
I'm looking around like he's seeing that. I'm looking at you, Brent.
Yeah.
And I just, and from there, it's just like, for me, it's just like, oh man, I drove all the way over here to San Rafael. It's taking me an hour through traffic, and I got to deal with this crap. Well, luckily that was a tournament. So, but what's your advice for the league guys when they have to deal with that stuff?
Well, again, how do you want to engage? You have to treat the engagement, and this is the way I describe it when I'm coaching, and that is, if you choose to engage in the conflict, be aware of how you're engaging. And so you have to kind of have a plan in your head, if you will, that ask questions that, I guess the easy way to describe it is just be in control of your emotions, and don't let your emotions lead the conflict, lead your engagement in the conflict. Because then it's a matter of who can get back to tennis first after that. So I like to treat it as if it's just another point in the game. Whoever wins that conversation is going to get back to tennis faster. And so even if I'm very certain that when I question a call, it's not going to change. And so I'm questioning because I feel like the player, my opponent, is now pressing the edge of, he missed a call. Oh, now he's no longer missing a call. That's just bad line calling. It's just, now it's moved into another arena. And at that point, when I engage in it, I'll never ask again if it was in or out, or are you sure about that call? I'll ask a different question because I want to pull him out of tennis because he's pulled me out of tennis now. Now we have to have this little exchange. And so I'll ask, are you confident with that call? And if the person says, oh, I thought it was out, that's not what I asked. I want them to understand the language I'm speaking and answer the question, not whether the ball was in or out. Are you confident with that call? And at that point, now she is out of tennis, and now we're having this little conflict, and then we're going to go back, right? And I may go there. Or, like you said, I may just cut to the chase, get an umpire. But like you said, in league tennis,
well, in league tennis, I think you can go to a captain, or you can go to someone and say, look, I just
get somebody out here. Right.
We got to get some help. And so it's
and the biggest thing there, I think, too, is that when you do it, I'll never accuse the other team of cheating. They're hooking us, using terminology that implies they're cheating and not being honorable with their calls. I'll just say, I think we need some help out here, and let's get an umpire, because I'm having trouble seeing the ball too. Whatever, but if the minute you put out there,
right,
I think. Intentionally, whatever verbiage you use that implies that they're cheating, that flavor is going to linger the rest of the match. There's no getting away from it. So personally, I like to get back to tennis and get the match to a level where I can focus on the job at hand and let's move on and get it done. But that's a challenge sometimes.
Well, look, the bottom line is this: is that there are probably, until the rest of the history of the game of tennis, there are going to be some jerks around, right? There are going to be some idiots out there who just want to make life miserable. And you're right. One of the things you said is it's kind of curious. I'm wondering where this is coming from. And look, if you're a stand-up citizen, out there in the court, and look, we all miss a call from time to time unintentionally.
Yeah,
it's just the thing. So, but that aside, is that assuming that you're a stand-up citizen, is it where all that stuff is coming from your opponent? They're so screwed up in their life. They're so messed up. They got so much crap going on. It's almost like you want to go, oh God, let's sit down and talk. All right. How about in the side chains? Let's kind of go kumbaya. I'll stir the campfire and I'll give you some marshmallows and graham crackers and a chunk of chocolate. And let's just.
Does somebody need a hug?
That's right. Well, look,
but it is. Again, it's curious. I think it's to me,
it is.
I find it, for lack of a better word, I find it fascinating.
Yeah.
Why would you waste all this time and energy and money to go out there and create a crappy atmosphere
something's going on
to enjoy the game?
That's right.
And it's crappy for everybody.
Yeah. I don't know.
Personally, I don't know where players kind of get this in their head. They take it personal that there's teammates or people clapping for you when you make a good shot, and maybe they don't clap when the other team makes a good shot. Who cares? I really don't. I don't give a hoot if nobody claps for me when I hit one of the most spectacular ESPN highlight reel shots of my career. Right. I don't care. Yeah. I'm not my ego isn't that fragile that I'm relying on that to make sure to carry me through the day. I know that's kind of a, whatever kind of statement, but I don't care. And I find it just fascinating that players, they move I don't know.
There's a lot of garbage.
Their self-worth is now dependent the next 2 hours on whether I'm getting clapped or who's got the time and energy?
Let's see. It only took me 28 minutes to stir the pot with Jeff and finally get all this off. Good deal.
Yeah.
Good deal.
All right.
Guys, all right, a couple things. What? A couple things. Number one, we got a couple spots left. Oh, and by the way, I heard from one of our gold ballers who actually is enrolled in, I think it's Friday, maybe it's Thursday or Friday, but we got a couple spots left on Thursday next week, or this coming week on Thursday, January 16th in the desert, 1-day workshop. Even though it's a full day on the court, it's 5 hours in the court, we've got a 90-minute lunch break, and we've got maybe an hour or so afterwards off the court. But we got some feedback that the couple of guys were interested in the workshop, Jeff, but felt that they didn't want to do it because they thought 5 hours in the court would just beat them up, even though they had a couple of days of rest before the tournament starts. So, if that's what you're thinking, if you're on the fence about enrolling in the workshop on Thursday because we're going to beat the crap out of you, that ain't going to happen. I mean, we're really going to make this surgical in terms of discovering what is your real unique thing that makes you the best player possible. And I know that there are a lot of workshops out there that their whole thing is based on boot camp. Let's see if we can make you throw up by, by 2 o'clock.
Yeah. How many balls can Jeff feed in 30 seconds?
Right.
This is not a conditioning day. This is not about how many balls can you hit in that day. This is Brent and I, like Brent said, surgically getting in there. We're going to look at what you do, and we're going to focus on some very primary elements as a foundation, and then we're going to look and see what you do, and get you steered in the right direction for how to construct points that best suit what you do already.
And that was one of our concerns when we started kind of brainstorming about these workshops, is that we got to make sure we don't beat these guys and gals up 24, 48 hours before they got to play their first round match, because they're going to need all that time to recover. And so, look, if that's what you're thinking, hopefully we've dispelled that reservation of getting signed up. So, look, guys, there's a couple links down below. Number one is the workshop information video link. If you've not seen that, you need to go watch that first, so you see everything that you get. Starting actually on Monday, a couple of days from now, we're going to do a little pre-workshop kind of mentally getting the noggin in the right spot. And then we got that full day on Thursday and Friday. And then we've got 4 weeks of follow-up, right? Keeping these guys and gals engaged. Yeah. So watch that video first if you've already seen the video. And then go ahead and click the other link, which will take you to the workshop application. So we dig in a little bit, find out a little bit more about you as a player, make sure we can get you into the right group. Jeff, you got a couple matches today, man, over at the Desert Princess in Cathedral City. I think you have an 11:30 men's dubs.
Yep.
And a 1:30 mixed doubles.
Yep.
I'm going to be over there for bits and pieces. I am going to warm up Erica, your mixed doubles partner, at 12:45. She gave me the exact time, said to bring this number of tennis balls. And then I'm going to scoot out of there. I'm not going to watch your mix because there's a football game on today that I must be in front of the television set. The 49ers, come on, Niners. God, back in the day when I grew up with my dad throwing passes to me in the living room up there in Alvarado Road in Berkeley, and he kept going, "We hate the Rams, right? We hate the Rams, huh, kid?"
Right?
Yeah, Dad, we hate the Rams. Yeah.
Right.
So
that would be is that the John Brody days?
Oh yeah. Well, it was actually the Y.A. Tittle days first.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, the Y.A. Tittle days first.
The Y.A. Tittle days, and they had.
And side note, Brody, played on the senior golf tour.
That's right.
He was a phenomenal.
That's right.
Became a phenomenal golfer. In fact, he actually won the senior championships at Silverado one year in NorCal.
Wow.
When I was working there, as a matter of fact, he won it one year. He came into the tennis shop because he was looking for tournigrip to wrap his putter.
Really?
And no, that's not an innuendo. But anyway, he came in, and I just reached in the bag. Here you go, and he wanted to pay me. I go, here, take it, John.
Yeah.
I go out there, and he went out there and won the tournament. So,
that's great.
Okay.
That's great.
Anyway,
so that's what I'm doing. Niners and Vikings at 1:35 at Levi Stadium in Santa Clara.
Cool.
Yeah. So anyway, good luck with your mixed. I'm assuming you don't need me there, that you can do this on your own. Yeah. How am I doing, Brandy? How am I doing? Okay? It's okay?
I'll call you. I'll text you in the match.
That's right. All right, guys. Anything else to see? Yeah, so look, if guys in the desert today want to see a couple of good men's doubles, mixed doubles matches, Jeff is playing in. Go over to the Desert Princess. It's in Cathedral City, 11:30 and 1:30 today. Jeffrey, besides that, what do we want fine folks to do right now?
Like us, share us, please subscribe. Let us know what you think down below. iTunes and Stitcher, rate and review, goldballhunting.com. Spread the word.
Guys, get out there today. And specifically if you're in the desert, get out there to the Desert Princess. Go over there and check out the great Jeff Jacklich. In the meantime, help someone else have a great day as well, or not in the meantime, but also help someone have a great time. In the meantime, I think that's what it means. Jeff, we'll do this again tomorrow.
I can't wait.
Should I just shut up while I'm not ahead? Yes.